Okay, so I'm planning to work on this my recent purchase. I may have already posted a teaser video on this one. The socket that I got from Badax Toolworks. So I wanted to build this Tenon saw. This is the 16-inch Tenon socket. This is not the manual for this one. This is the kit. Actually, I took a printout of the instructions to assemble that. So this came with obviously the saw plate. They have protected the teeth. You can order it like without any sharpening and set, so that if you want to save some money and you are confident of your like sharpening skills. I am pretty much confident of my skills, but at the same time I thought like it's better to get their expertise, like they are like pretty well known, and get the initial sharpening, and that would be my template to progress on. So that's the saw plate. I wanted to show the logo. This is the saw back. Now this wasn't the original color. The original color was like this kind of pure carbon steel. I like that much better than this. My favorite has always been a brass back, because this has a vintage look. That was not an option. I think they do have an option where the steel can be like, you can spend more like $50-60 extra to, they have some plating to get that brass color. I didn't spend on that. I just got the regular like unfinished. And then since like I saw like it's usually recommended to perform the, what do we call that, bluing, like rust blue, like protective layer. There are various techniques. I just used a cold blue, and this gives this uniform grayish or black color. Actually, it's okay. The only reason I did it is not because of the color, but because I thought like even though the plate looked so nice with that steel color, if that was going to rust or something, like that was my only fear. But given a chance, I would prefer that one more than this. Maybe like the Veritas, this kind of a saw back has like, I absolutely don't like this saw back. It's a wonderful saw, but I don't like that saw back at all. The design, it's very functional and all, but this is metal. It gives me the option to take it out, like tension the saw, and lot of control. I think the Veritas one is fixed, so that's not my preference at all. I opted for the brass screws for the saw handle. Steel and other options are there, and I'm pretty sure they would be stronger, but if I get any option with brass, I will prefer that because it has that vintage vibe. What else? The most important thing why I ordered this premium saw kit rather, for me the main reason, to be frank, has been the handle, this one. So this is the one thing is, this is custom made. Not custom made really, for my size actually. So they have size options, and this fits my, this is like made for me. So that is an aspect was most important for me, because to be frank, like of course everything else is good, but we can the like spring steel, we can also get like Spear & Jackson also makes very good steel. Probably maybe this is better. I don't have that level of knowledge to distinguish between like the like differentiate between those levels, but what I'm saying is that this $35 Amazon like Spear & Jackson saw, $45 that steel has worked perfectly fine for me. Maybe this is thinner plate, which I will come to it, like with some experience I can tell like how good that is. So this handle has been my one of the main things. So what I wanted to do in future is to keep that as a template, and be able to like someday build my own saw handles. So by the way, they gave this adhesive backed cork liners. The reason is that we attach these to like couple of plywood or wooden pieces, and that will act as the saw plate holder. For me, I will not use that to begin with. I may go back to that. I mean, I have like built my own saw holding vise, so I'll see like if that works. I will keep this for something else. First thing first, get this template. Like I have built a plain handle, meaning like the rear tote, but never a saw handle. And things that you make by hand, they have a different they are much more precious to us, isn't it? Does it come up on the camera? I just want to keep it. I will work on it someday. I can choose my own wood species, and that will be, let me keep that aside. I could work on like shaping, not shaping, I mean this is in very good shape, and this is like the fit is so nice that I don't want to take too much material out. So I will be carefully like sanding. I use some rasp, like this sharp corners, not sharp really, but I could get them more smooth. Those corners I will just sand them off, like use a rasp or something to make them smooth. That's about it. I'm not going to do too much these corners. The only those places where like that where my hand touches, I'm not going to touch this outside part and all. One thing I had done in the past, which I learned, is should not be doing. These handles I have reshaped. They feel very nice, but during that time I rounded off almost everything, even these parts, the top, these parts. I realized that this having this crisp look instead of rounding off that looks much better. For example, this, there is no point rounding this because those don't come in contact with my hand. Rather, this part, the underneath part, is the one that comes in contact. So it's a learning. The more we do, the more we realize how this is going to work. So nothing lost there. So one thing they tell is like this is the saw back. To file this to a knife edge, because this is hardened steel, not impulse hardened, but whenever I say hardened, meaning like for this is for like good for hand sharpening, and this is like mild. So if we don't make it a knife edge, they could dig into this. So that's what I'm going to do. But let me see how my saw vise fits into this. So this is my handmade saw sharpening vise. Let's see like how this works out for me. This was built as like using plans from James Wright from the Wood by Wright channel. It was a really fun project, and I have made this like custom fit for my vise. So I have cork liners, but I'll see like how this is. Like if it slips or anything, then I'm just going to like follow the exact like, so 2 to 3 inches of exposed spine. That's what they say. Let's see, 2 to 3. Let me go by like 2.5. Now it's always good to like also clamp these sides because I don't want this to be slipping. That was one of the disadvantages of my vise, but it works. And this upward sweeping move. Now I have to come from the other side. Do I pull it back and reset? I think easier for me would be just rotate this. This time I used like almost a draw filing action. It took more steel. pretty close to a knife edge, not exactly, but I think this will work. Okay, I'm back with my next attempt. So I just created that as per the guide, like I used the cork liner on a couple of plywood, and I have again filed, like made this like edge a little bit more sharp, and one more try. So then I'm fitting. So this is the heel. This one should go here. I mean, it was working for me, really, to be frank, but just that the previous saw vise was not holding. You start with 90-degree. Yeah, this is going in much better. You have to watch out for that. What do you call that? They call it the teeter-totter effect, meaning like if you don't watch this side and keep pounding here, this will come up. So have to watch out for that. Don't want it too deep as of yet. This seems more or less uniform. What the guide said was like half inch, around half an inch of air gap. I can go a little bit more then. That's it. So here my saw plate looks pretty straight, so I'm not too worried about that. One thing we want to measure is like this length to be uniform, or at least like I think the front part could be slightly tapered. That's also okay. So it's like this side is 4 1/8. This side is the 16th over that. Let me see, what do they recommend? No more than 4 1/8, and clearance of no less than 4 and no more than 4 1/8. This is a little bit more, so I can always get it 4 1/8, 4 1/8. Saw plate looks fine. Now I had tested this fit inside the handle before putting this plate, and it was going just smoothly. I don't want that tight at all. It should be like a perfect fit. But I think like once this opens up because of the saw plate, there is a chance that it won't, I mean, it may be too tight. Actually, it's going pretty nicely. Not tight at all. So here, so it's not going in completely. So they recommend taking like a little bit of like from here, like gap. So there are two options. So if this doesn't go in fully, which is happening in my case. There is a little bit of gap, so I can deepen the hole of the saw handle, which I don't want to do. I may crack this thing, so I will just like shear off a small portion. Let me mark. So they have given a good picture there, like bottom of handle, slightly above the bottom of handle. So here, I don't know, is that visible? So that is what I am going to cut off. Seems to be working. Not easy, but I think I got it done. I have to be extremely careful about this piece. Let me throw it in the trash. I wasn't like accurate to the line, but I have left more material than taking off more. So yeah, I think maybe not. So it's kind of pivoting a little bit. So that means this portion, like, let me see if I can. So now I think it's good. It is touching here and it's touching on the top also. So I'm happy. I can get rid of the burr a little bit, not essential, but now I have to important thing is to drill holes in the saw plate. That's where I will take good amount of time. Now I could like finish this off and drill holes and get it done with, but let me actually get this fit the holes perfectly lined. I got this carbide bit 7 by 32 inch. That's what they recommend. Let me try to set it up in my drill press. So I have set up my drill press. This is the best camera view I could come up with. Make sure like when you're doing it, it's like well clamped. So I have used two clamps to clamp the saw plate, like you don't want it moving. Work on one hole at a time. Few drops of 3-in-1 oil. This is my cutting fluid. This did fit nicely. Now going back to the next hole. Came out fine. I have to take out all these nuts, but yeah, I am using this piece of like polythene, but still I'm making sure, like trying my best not to ensure like this doesn't slip. Let me take it for a test now. I think it's a good time. A piece of maple. It gets difficult to find like scrap pieces for me these days. My son has like, he has taken over a lot of things. So let's see. I am very happy with the way it performed. I didn't mark anything. I was just taking it for a test ride, pretending it to be a Tenon. This is maple. See the curve, very straight. This is my side. Super clean, straight. I mean, I did it without even putting a. So I'm very happy. Like this thing is done. Now I'll take out these screws. I have to work on. I mean, this handle fits me so well. I don't want to take out like too much material. But what I will do, I will just use some like little bit of rasp just to like take out these corners, and then I will sand it smooth, like only these portions where I'm like these like inside part where my hands go in, and then I will just apply like 2-3 coats of shellac and then wax. Boiled linseed oil is also like wonderful, and that's traditional, but I tend to stick with shellac. Just applying some of my rag in a can. Very nice. I will just post one more picture maybe like after I finish it, or maybe I will record that when I am shaping the saw handle. Only like I want these sharp corners, I don't want to touch those. These ones inside part I'm pretty much happy. I don't need to touch these sharp corners, my hands don't come in contact with that. It doesn't have to be glass smooth, like you still want to feel the grain, like, but it should not be rough. That's what I meant. That inside part is feeling a lot better. If I'm making my own handle out of scratch, I think the rasp is actually like the most important tool in that case, because I will be shaping the saw handle from like scratch. So just like one swipe at those sharp corners, because I don't want them to chip or crack. Basically like breaking the edges. Really. Again, sanding coat. So here I am back again. So I was planning to just do everything offline, but I'm so excited about this that it came out so nice. I just wanted to do the final assembly here. So I applied like my favorite finish. I think I applied 3, maybe 4 coats of shellac. Boiled linseed oil also works great, but I always tend to go for that. I mean, I like shellac because it's so easy, and I have the connection with my the place I come from, India, and it's basically like very natural and no harmful or volatile chemicals, anything like that. So after that I have used a steel wool to get rid of the nibbing, and then I went with the same steel wool with like some paste wax and applied it. Now I'm just trying to like, I left it for too long because I was you don't need to, around 20 minutes to 1 hour I guess is more than enough, but I left it for longer because I had to step out. So I'm back here now. I'm trying to get rid of like polish off that wax. I mean, I can take longer time to polish this off. It will look great. Isn't it looking wonderful? So let me do the final assembly. Now I could start with anything really. Let me start with the bigger one. So what I will do is I will keep a piece of wood here. Gently I will try to tap this with a stick or something. just a little bit so that now yeah, now this one is engaged also. Trying to make sure like they are like quite tight, like snug, but I don't want to like crank it like extremely hard. And what I don't want is this, like when I'm tightening this thing to slip, because that is where it those screw heads do get damaged when we are dealing with brass. So yeah, no vibration, no shaking. This is installed. I have already shown how well this saw cuts really right now. So I guess this will be my uh, this is my Tenon saw for life. Like, super happy how this has come out, and yeah, I'm glad that I chose it, and waiting, just like eagerly waiting to work on like lots of projects and put this to good use. See you then with this thing in action.